All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Mr. Cat action here on Moonduck TV. We are in game number 2 of a best of 5 Team Bazaar, the former wgunity versus Faceless. I'm AnneDroid, joined again by the lovely Trent. What's up, dude?
I just muted then unmuted myself because I just naturally assumed I'd muted myself that whole time. Hopefully you were enjoying the sweet tunes of my Sumerian documentary.
You know, it didn't come through the TeamSpeak.
Damn, that's unfortunate.
I would have loved to enrich myself with that.
Yes, well, it's a tough life, I'm sure. But we're back. Dota 2, Bazaar, Faceless, Centaur, Warrunner, back in the action once again here. Same bands coming out from Team Bazaar, a little bit different over here from Faceless, as they allow the Earth Spirit to slip on through to the first pick, so they'll snag it on up. They're taking it for themselves. They wanted this game. They allow the Centaur, the Rubic, and they take a Nyx Assassin for themselves. So plenty of teams used to ban this out up against them, much like the Timber and Magnus. We'll have to see what Ice can get done with it.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty deadly roaming combo. Once Nyx hits 6, you got an Earth Spirit to set things up. That's dangerous. Now, I expect a little bit of love or hate in this ban phase for the Invoker, just because both teams have a player that plays him phenomenally. We saw Jabs go 5-0 before he even left the laning phase last game. Nana is one of his best heroes as well, so definitely a hero that both teams are eager to snap up for themselves. Team Bazaar do have first pick going into this next round, so the third pick will be theirs.
Yeah, it's another good benefit of the Nyx Assassin too, right? Makes it like far less tempting to head in towards those ODs or Invokers or really anyone when you have an Nyx Assassin on your team. It's difficult to like throw down all your combinations. Obviously you're an int hero, so the mana burn's pretty tough on you. It just like you can still go for those heroes, but it's not fun, right? Like you can't just be this free throwing Invoker whenever Nyx Assassin is going to be nearby and alive.
Definitely.
Yeah, we still have the Lone Druid in the pool, which I think is important to mention. I would guess he'll come out in the second phase if he's not banned here.
Yeah, he's one of those, ever since the changes to his bear, ever since Talent Trees, really, he has just been on top of the world. He gets so strong, and he can slot himself up pretty effectively. Similar to the Morphling, where if he just gets a lane where he can free farm and not be bothered by anyone for a little bit, suddenly that is a big problem for the other team.
I wonder if Faceless will leave the Lone Druid. That'll be interesting, I think. Because we know they play it pretty well, and they'll just hand it off to Black, more than likely go to the safe lane with it. But are they willing to allow it to fall into the hands of Team Bazaar if they do?
Reserve time.
I think Centaur plus Lone Druid's pretty damn strong. I would probably want to ban it if I was Faceless. I've seen that combination work very well, but we'll have to see if they have any sort of solutions themselves, maybe like a Disruptor or something, someone who could just get that glimpse going. Know they're going to come back to that certain spot and start setting up your AoE stuns from there. Faceless have some options like Shadow Demon still, who could set up nicely in lane for Earth Spirit rotations to come in. He can also help the Nyx Assassin when he rotates in around like level 6 and stuff. And Team Bazaar are just forced to ban out two of the... Those are like two mid heroes that Nyx counters very well right now in the current patch. So it's like, well, we can't pick them, so we don't want you to have them.
Yeah, I mean, also some of Nana's favorites, it's gotta hurt that he has to let them go. But like you mentioned, the Nyx would just obliterate them if Bazaar picked them. And Faceless, they could definitely still get away with another Jabs Invoker. And that would hurt a lot. So... both heroes taken out. Now another ban coming in from Faceless, and then it's time for Team Bazaar to snap up their third. What other heroes has Bazaar been running really effectively?
I mean, this is basically just the do we ban Lone Druid or not ban? That would be my guess. So
they're not banning it. They go ban
they're saying
the Omni.
No. Yeah. I think Omni enables a lot of their picks. Like, you could even still think about Omni plus an obnoxious hero to fight into Nyx. So like Omni OD potentially, probably not, but you know, those kind of ideas. The Omni Storm Spirit, another option, those kind of things, and just generally a hero that would help negate a lot of what Earth Spirit and Nyx Assassin bring to the table. So
and an Omni Centaur would have been a great combo. You just got Stampede, and then suddenly everyone just gets walked on with Degen Aura. Ooh.
Yeah, it would look a lot like that Pudge Omni dual offlane they did.
Just suddenly everyone in Faceless is walking in molasses. All right, Team Bazaar taking their time with this one. They don't want to give away too much to Faceless because Faceless are just so good at drafting in such a punishing way. And they're going to go for the LD. Pretty standard pick there. Wouldn't be too surprised with it.
No, I'm sure Faceless knew that was coming if we knew it was coming. So they allowed in, and we have to find out what they want to do. How do you handle the Centaur Lone Druid? It seems so strong. And we still have Team Bazaar. They have the option. Well, I guess, man, this Nyx is actually really smart. Because Team Bazaar have been doing that support Bat Rider, too. Which I think Nyx Assassin, obviously, he counters Bat Rider pretty hard. I think you could still go support Bat, honestly, into Nyx. Simply because it's a support hero, and you just don't Firefly before the grab. But we'll have to see if Bazaar are feeling it here once again.
I'm so scared.
There's still
this
Ogre.
Warlock, Nyx, Earth Spirit, Faceless are going to have so much control in these team fights. My goodness.
10 seconds remaining.
Get the final pick too. Yeah, they do have a lot of control. And a lot of AoE damage too. Just between the Earth Spirit and the Warlock. So you get magnetized with the chains going, and it's just like doubly effective, essentially.
Reserve time.
We do have X-Nova's
fantastic
Rubik,
ults.
so maybe looking forward to some more Golem steals. We got a chance to see one last game, but unfortunately it was on the back of Faceless just mopping the floor with WG, already at their tier 3s at 20 minutes in. Not an easy time.
No, not particularly. Still like the Ogre here. I think it's probably the best position 4 left.
What?
Oh, a Phoenix. Okay, so it's like a combo breaker, right? Where they're coming in with all these big plays, where they're gonna try this Golem ult into magnetize and everything, and then you just have this Ag on the side.
Yeah, like that's a neat strategy, but I think
it's good. You're also not susceptible to Carapace in your ultimate, right? It doesn't affect it at all. I've seen a lot of teams used to run Centaur or Phoenix because it's very good to cause people to group up on the Ag. And it gives you an easy way to go for the Stampede, or rather the Stomp onto like numerous heroes.
all right.
Someone else was running Phoenix Lone Druid. I mean, maybe it was just OG. That's the easiest person to say in my head. But I remember watching this combo before and saying, oh, okay, these two heroes together actually make quite a bit of sense.
Yeah, I'm just used to seeing Phoenix just get no love in competitive Dota, but all right, Bazaar, I can see this working for them, but Faceless, they go for an Alchemist, so they're like, all right, screw you. If you want to mess around and try to group up, I'm just going to farm.
That's pretty cool. So he, the default hero against Phoenix is Jug, also still a very strong hero. You can just spin off and still attack the Egg, so no one can really target you and the Egg goes down. But Juggernaut into Lone Druid is a little bit scary, just because obviously you can get rooted during spins, you don't scale as fast or really as well as the Lone Druid does, and you're fighting melee into like the Centaur Warrunner and everything, so you go for this Alchemist instead, who also still has a very high attack speed, so he can handle the Egg, but he scales along with that Lone Druid, can take you into later stages of the game more comfortably, and you don't really have to worry about what their last pick mid is, because you can just always send your Alch there and be relatively fine.
10 seconds remaining.
Good stuff. Yeah, you don't really want to be like OD into Phoenix and stuff like that either, because he's like similar idea where he could have been this hero that can go mid no matter what Bazaar want to take, but then you don't really have any way to get rid of the fire spirits or anything like that. So strong stuff, and then a typical ban there in the Slark too, something we've seen Black opting in for, and someone who can purge off fire spirits.
Weaver still in the pool here for last picks. Both teams need to snap up a little bit more damage for themselves. I think it's all right for both teams. It's one of those heroes that's very heavily prized in SCA Dota, usually taken out in the first or second round of bans.
Yeah, he's great up against Lone Druid especially. Probably most likely to be on Faceless. I think Bazaar, I don't know if they run the Lone Druid mid. From what I understand, they've always done it safe lane, but there's always time to try something new. And not always either. I mean, that's just what I've seen in Mr. Cat, so we'll have to see exactly where they want to send him, but no, I could be down with the Weaver. On Faceless, they have okay control. He does more minus armor with the Alchemist. The only thing he will be missing would be a little bit more AoE, which would be kind of nice to combo up again with these like chains and Nyx and everything. Like if there was more minus armor on Bazaar, I'd almost say a Sven. But you won't get any Warcry benefits.
Are we in elimination mode right now? Because that's what it feels like with a Phoenix and a Gyro being picked up. I mean, I can see the synergies on their teams, and you look at it, through a broader lens, and it makes sense. But my goodness, these are some rare picks.
Yeah, it's just that AoE though, right? Like it's
10
so good with
seconds
chains and
remaining.
Earth Spirit. This next set, like they just have
Oh.
this crazy amount of AoE damage that
If
they're
you
trying
get
to
a
get going.
warlock, like 4-man fatal bonds, if you get a couple
Right.
people stuck in the rock, then all of a sudden, hey, it's call down and everyone is dead.
Reserve time.
Yeah, and Sven has some serious issues against a lot of those heroes. So I think if they didn't want AoE, they probably would have went for their
10
classic Wraith King as well, which would have been kind of fun. Like the Lone
Tinker.
Druid and stuff. But
Okay.
for mid, all right. So Tinker and Lone Druid, great combination. You can TP onto the Spirit Bear, be generally obnoxious in these fights. Same idea that like kind of Faceless had last game, where you had these blink stomps into stun strikes. Now it's gonna be like blink stomps into a TPing into the bear Tinker, and you're just gonna try and zap people down, burst one person right out of the fight immediately. And ideally, that's likely gonna be the Warlock or the Earth Spirit that you want to find. But now he used Tinker into Nyx, which is a little bit worrisome, right? When he's trying to hop around the map. But they don't have the best vision to find him in trees, so they can get the carapace off, but then you have to track him down after that.
All right, so Faceless definitely going for, nice gank-oriented lineup, great team fight. Whereas Bazaar,
10
I mean, they can
seconds
definitely team
remaining.
fight, and they're going to want to with their Phoenix Egg, but you've got a Lone Druid and a Tinker who
5 seconds
have an
remaining.
ability to very easily just screw off into each other lane. One goes top, one goes bottom. They've got great split push, so I'll see if they're just going to be leading Faceless on a wild goose chase, or if it's going to be another easy Faceless stomp. I mean, game number 1, I don't think we really got to taste the full impact of Bazaar's draft. Hopefully game number 2, we're going to see what they got. Gyro, love them GG branches.
Yeah, this is like last game too, Black and the same items.
Right?
I like his style, man. You just get that wand, you get the one tango or one branch to eat. It's great. I'm looking forward to this Gyro doing well, though. I think it's going to be fun. See
Yep.
Black pump out this magic damage.
Do we see Ags? Do we see like an Alchemist Ags synth coming to him or something?
Oh, actually, that's a good question in terms of the Ags build. I don't know. I've seen more people talking about it. They seem to like the Aghanims. It's like a permanent DD rune in a way that you can't control it and stuff. I don't know. I think with this combination, someone needs to be buying a Veil on this team. That seems pretty sick. So probably going to be XY, I would guess.
Damn, look at that
unless
Lone
he's really...
Druid set. That's badass. Got an eye patch.
Oh, yeah. Solid.
Yeah, I'd actually really like to see Alchemist be able to just buy up a couple items for himself and then start synthing Ags all over the place, because Nyx, Earth Spirit, Warlock, and Gyrocopter are going to be just really taken to the next level. Alchemist is dancing. Is the bear going to get it?
All right, is it just me? Is that bear absolutely tiny?
It's petite.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely not just me. That thing is so
Yeah,
puny. That's
why
hilarious.
is that a bug, or is it just a weird cosmetic? Because it looks real small.
Yeah, maybe it's like a cosmetic that levels up or something like that.
Suddenly we're just gonna see like a massive monster heaving its way across the map at level like 18. Alright, here we go. Roll in. Already getting things heated up onto Nana, making this Tinker's life a little bit difficult, but Tinker should have some fun in the mid lane. Until Alchemist really levels up that acid spray, there's no reason why Nana can't outlast hit him, get a couple of nice little lasers off on his face.
Yeah, that's one thing we've seen from SCA, right? It's that prized Tinker pick. Often banned out in the final stages. We'll make his way through here, so try and get that heavy aggression going, TPing around the map, joining in for kills. Much more about that than like Naga Siren style lane control. Top lane, they're trying to get an early kill here on the Ice.
Yeah, I mean they're trying, but it's a little bit difficult. I think we gave Phoenix a little bit of flack in the draft, at least I did. I have my doubts, but I think X-Nova can definitely prove himself here now. Interesting that X-Nova's not playing as Rubik. Afu gonna be taking that instead. I think every time I've seen Team Bazaar or wgunity run it, X-Nova's been on the Rubik.
Yeah, Phoenix is definitely one of those more niche heroes, so you can
Yeah.
understand it.
You either play a
being
good
this
Phoenix
way.
or you just don't. Boulder whiff coming in from XY. Trying to keep the harass onto Ben. Nuts, taking a bit of damage, but he'll have his heal up pretty soon.
Yeah, Ben's been doing great down here. 3 heroes. Still in lane, getting experience. Only one last hit, but at least he's hanging around for now. He's got his boots, but non-stop harass coming up from Nuts. Like, this was one of the great things about their Warlock Omni Knight. Like, they picked an Omni into the Warlock yesterday, and every time he would just throw the Shadow Word, he would just give himself the repel. Pretty good call, but For now, he'll rotate on in. Actually finds himself the 2-minute bounty run with 2 supports bottom. That is brutal. There's no way that happens.
That should not be happening. The supports just got to be a little more cognizant about, hey, that centaur that was in lane, he's not here anymore. Did Afu got it too? Oh, up top, Dire. They're just making it happen. They steal both bounty runes from the Radiant side. And they're gonna get the illusion too. It looks like it. Roll in, gonna clip onto the Rubik, but he's got a telekinesis Fade Bolt if he needs it.
They just got all 4 bounty runes. That's actually hilarious.
So much money.
I don't think I've ever
on.
seen that at 2 minutes.
I mean, and Rubik got it too, up in the top lane. That means just a lot of gold coming to these supports early on. While X Nova just solos down the Nyx Assassin. Things are going really well for Bazaar so far in their lanes. And of course, Alchemist is going to have a bit of a tricky time farming because Tinker can just keep lasering him. He's blind, he can't last hit, relying pretty heavily on his acid spray just to zone back the Tinker.
Yeah, he'll just keep doing this too. He just pull the wave, and then Tinker has to go back for it. Like, even that kind of a laser doesn't actually do anything. You get like 1 denied, then he comes back, just gets that, so... Gives him the taunt. That was a worthy taunt, actually.
Alright, here we go. Nyx Assassin could be in some trouble. Roll in from XY, gonna zone everyone back. X Nova didn't get that Icarus dive he really needed.
Are you watching this bear run?
I'm not watching it.
What is wrong with this bear?
Why
does it leapfrog everywhere? What the hell? Alright. I don't know what's going on.
Oh my.
It's like bounding. It's like the happiest bear ever.
I'm gonna miss first play because I'm laughing too hard. Fuck you, Trent.
Well, what? I mean, don't blame me. Blame whoever made that bear.
Oh my.
I mean, I'm not even mad about it, I guess. It's more like I'm impressed. It's like in the game. It's like they snuck it past.
What is this thing doing? Oh, it's just hopping.
It's so high. It's like butt goes so high in the air.
I'm sorry for the camera work, but this is the funniest thing I've seen in Dota in a really long time.
It's alright. Nothing's really happening anyway, right? I mean, Ben, the levels start stacking up on the supports, especially the Warlock. It gets really obnoxious to be in lane. You're just going to get more gold being in the jungle and doing this stuff instead. Mid lane, Jabs is doing exactly what you'd expect. I mean, this is Radiant side, right? It's generally fine, I think, to have the first pick on Radiant side because you have a mid that has a better jungle to fall back into. So you just grab someone like Ember or Alchemist, and it's difficult for them to deny you out. So now they give the experience to XY in the mid lane. Things going pretty well for Faceless so far. And bottom lane, Ben just TP's out.
Yep. Nothing there to stun him up. Warlock certainly no golems dropped just yet. His levels are pretty good for a support that's been splitting the experience. Quite thin, almost level 4 on him. Down here, Afu drops a really nice ward. Gonna get some vision of Alchemist trying to take out the neutrals. Doesn't Fade Bolt to try to steal that. I've seen Afu get in there and I saw him steal up some neutrals from our starving offlaners before. Black goes in. Is this gonna be enough there? Rocket Barrage. Oh, 1 hit would have done it. Do they have anything that can catch up to him? Gyro has to leave him. Oh no.
Damn. Painful. Definitely a hero that you're trying to get those early kills in lane with on Gyro. He has so much early magic damage. If anyone's there, you just want to be there to punish it. X-Nav will come down just to even soak a little bit. Only going to find a catapult, though, because there is a pull, so he's going to be very disappointed that he made this rotation, I would think. And might even get a little bit too aggressive because of it, trying to find that experience. Ah, there we go. He'll grab it now. Only finds 2 of them, though.
Pretty calm game so far. Almost 6 minutes in. No first blood. Everyone just trying to get up their own items before this turns into a vicious 5-on-5 bloodbath, because you know it's going to. Faceless like to rotate. There's a Nyx Assassin. Team fight for days on the Radiant side. I think Bazaar just enjoying the calm before the storm.
Oh, Black. He's mixing it up. Ah. Right there. All right, so this is kind of interesting. I noticed last game that Black, I started like looking back to his matches when our game's over, and he likes to go for the brown boots right into the helm a lot of the time, just like skipping over the Ring of Aquila, whereas a lot of people, and it's not even like a hero dependent thing. I don't know. He was just way more on point with that one. So he started with the headdress again this game, but now he has gone back for the ring. So just wants that. Probably more than likely the mana regen being the most important part is this Gyro, because he's level 6 now, and wants to be able to just keep like spamming and going to the jungle using her flat cannon, because It's about that time now where, because he has his headdress, he can just use that regen to go jungle and give the space to Nuts here in the bottom lane. Get 6 going here, and it's trying to find it. Oh, I thought he was going for a courier snipe, but X-Nova is just doing some diving wards. That's pretty good.
Yeah, the courier was right there coincidentally. Maybe he got eyes on it a little bit too late and just couldn't finish it off. But either way, things still very calm. I like that the mid laners are now just the Rubik and the Earth Spirit, so supports soaking up that experience, a little bit solo farm. Now here we go, Chase potentially onto Nuts. X-Nova's got the Icarus dive in 5 seconds, goes in with the Spirits. Trying to keep him all slow. There's the lift back. It looks like this could be first blood. They leave him into a stomp, and that's going to be it. Afu grabs it up, but the roll back in, call down, clips onto the Centaur. He's in some trouble here. Doesn't have a Stampede, and he's going to fall in return. Black snapping that one up for himself, so some nice golds going to our gyrocopter.
Yeah, still going to come out on top, though, of course. That first blood, so good stuff for Bazaar. Goes on to the Rubik of all people. Not too shabby. Black goes right back to farming though, and Centaur dying, slowing him down a little bit. Ben not even to 5.5 yet at 8 minutes, so a little bit slow.
Dude, the bear got bigger.
Yeah, it was definitely a leveling up thing, so good to know. Still just hopping around doing his thing.
That is, oh, he's stacking. Hey, he's not hopping anymore. He's got a nice walk for himself. All right, we're done with the giggles on that then.
Yo, this bear is like hacks though. It turns like bright yellow when it can attack people.
Got it. I like it. I like that bear cosmetic. I think I got the red panda for mine.
No. Is this a pay-to-win bear? I mean, I didn't know the bear turned, like, there's no way the other bears turned that gray.
What is this?
Like, look at this bear. Look how gray it is now.
My god. Oh, he's crawling. Alright. Back to actual Dota.
Hey, this bear is actually important. We're finding pay-to-win stuff here, Annie.
It's just
clearly this cosmetic's pay-to-win. If you guys want to get it, its name is... Oh, it won't let me bring up the thing anymore, so never mind. We lost. It's fine. Oh, no, it will. This is important, okay? This is the spirit of the Darkwood. You guys are welcome.
We're broadcasters.
Hey, I'm just helping out. That's important. I'm down with pointing that out. Ben is 6 now, so we have the threat of the Stampede. They're going to use it on the Nuts.
Oh, here we go. Roll up in. They get the kick. They get the stun. The call down finishes off our buddy Lone Druid. Nana able to take out Nuts, like you mentioned, but return kills happening all across the map. 1-for-1 trade. I think Lone Druid was the bigger pick there.
Top lane though.
Able to find our Tinker as well. They get the Impale, they get the stun, the Sunray trying to keep him alive, but it's not going to be enough. Now Afu will be able to lift up XY, but this Rubik running for his life. They've got the Impale back up in 4 seconds, and there's not really much Rubik can do about it. Nick's going to back off as we've got a little bit of a skirmish coming out. Black able to finish off the Phoenix with the Rocket Barrage, so Faceless suddenly get very active on the map, really applying pressure to the top lane.
Yep, classic gyrocopter stuff, right? Rotating as early as possible, going for kills. That whole play actually could have turned out so well for Bazaar Gaming if the timing was just a little bit different, right? Where you're using that Stampede to both initiate as well as retreat with your Lone Druid, but not quite able to save him up top there, and then that follows through with the kills onto the Tinker and the Phoenix. So big grabs for Faceless now, and the whole time, where's the Alchemist? He's farming. Jab's getting it done in the jungle. He's got his armlet on his way to the Radiance. And Nana just has to try and get in towards that Blink Dagger, and oh, top, yeah. Ajit. Nice Savage Roar.
Oh, is this going to be enough to save him here? Roll comes in, but oh, goal, dude. That guy got the kick.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
Down bottom, Ben. Gonna be going in. They got that Stampede into the hoof stomp. The laser does it as well as the double edge there. So very nice rotation. Tinker just getting the most out of those little bots, and Rubik is in some serious trouble. Gonna be dodging out spells left and right. XY can't find him with the boulder. Looks like
this
they're gonna
is
back out.
A dangerous TP.
Yeah, Tinker, he's bold here. Gonna be missing the Impale. The March of the Machine's doing some work. This boulder misses. And he's healing him up. The negative urn won't be enough to take him out. He's still walking. He wants to go back in. He's got a laser, and he's gonna get the kill onto XY. That is style points if I've ever seen him.
Oh, he's got like the Pink Floyd light show going on. It's like bouncing in the club behind him with the ray coming through, and he just comes back in for the laser. That was sick.
That was so good. Props to X Nova, just trying to keep track of him as he's just ambling back into that fight.
Man, dangerous play too. Like coming that close to a gyrocopter like that, rather terrifying. He had the backup with his vision though to keep him perfectly paced, and then the TP coming in from Ben. But that's huge, and a lot of that coming because they did kill Nuts down bottom, right? He couldn't just immediately TP top and rotate, and wasn't there to drop the rocks on top.
Pull back onto the Nyx. He lands an impale, clips onto the Centaur, and now he's invisible, and they're lacking vision. They know it. Oh, look at that roll. This Rubik is going to eat it. The Magnetize doing a lot of work. Phoenix is into the egg, and now XY has to bail. Here's going to be the Golems drop. It's doing some serious work to Bazaar. They're melting down. The egg hatches, but is it going to be enough to turn this fight up? Black is getting low from the Icarus dive. Tinker trying to go back in. Heat-seeking missiles doing their magic. Stampede comes forward. Nuts. He's so low. And there will be a killing spree out for Nana as he's able to find a piece of prey there. Kill onto the gyrocopter. Definitely slowing him down.
There's that combo breaker though, you know, with this Phoenix. Like they start throwing everything in, and then you're just agging here, and you know they can't deal with you or kill you, and they can't just full 5-man on into the rest of Bazaar, and they were dropping low, as you said. So close to being a full cleanup there for Faceless, and instead it turns back around to a kill onto the gyro with a long-range missile there.
Yeah, that was a really nice chaotic offering, but unfortunately, like you mentioned, the egg, they just couldn't get close enough to follow up with heroes.
Now Ajit looks like he's heading into his Dragonlance, so standard stuff, nothing too crazy. Has to finish up now, and look at that gap between the Tinker, the Alk, and everyone else.
I mean, those guys, they got farm for days. Tinker can just hop to every which lane, farming up, 3 waves at once if he wants to. And Alk has got that 4 points in Greevil's Greed, and he's very close to his relic right now. Or his full radiance. He's already got the relic.
Fat stacks right now. Top lane, Ice goes in. They do have that sentry, but almost into it. Gonna stay near the away from the typical area. It looks a nice stun.
Oh, they're dumping everything for this Rubik. Phoenix tries to heal. Spike Carap is going to be doing some work. X Nova will get out alive, and now Nana wants to be moving forward for this. Ajit ready to go in, has the Savage Roar.
Can't get a root though.
Taking a
And be a quick pause from Nets.
Yeah, little discord on the voice comm. So let's talk about the pace of the game right now. I mean, we talked about the net worth. Alchemist obviously rising ahead because that's what he does, but overall, Faceless's net worth is looking really good. You gotta keep pace with the Tinker, but the Gyro is getting the kills he needs to. Overall XP, pretty close for 14 minutes.
Yeah, I think considering there's only a 2k lead on Faceless, you're pretty happy with that, I would say, if you're Bazaar. Just because they are a Alchemist squad, so you're keeping pretty good pace to them right now. Alch, in fact, is that big difference. So everything else even around the board, so nothing too scary for them. And now they will have the Radiance, though. So this is where we'll probably see Jabs actually join into a couple fights here, especially once he's his bots up. Black also almost level 12. This will be a big level for him. Giving the second one into call down.
Yeah, he's been using that call down really frequently. I see a lot of gyrocopters just kind of sit back and wait for big team fights to pop that out, but he's got no problem throwing it on solo kills. So far, it's paid off.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It'll just gives him a total of another 125 damage on the ulti, all in the AoE, all comboed up with chains and everything. So.
All right, did we learn our lesson? Do we have detection for the Nyx? We got a dust. A Carapace doing its work here, stunning up everyone. March the Machines rocking through. They burn him down with the Icarus dive, and there we go. That'll be another kill going the way of Nana. Now he's 5-1. Meanwhile, in the top lane, a little Magnetize going in. Another Golem drop for this lone Druid. Can he escape here? Really hoping for a nice root proc on this bear. It's getting so low, and he will end up going down. Can they turn this around? Nana gonna be able to find at least something there, taking out the Warlock. The Magnetize still going through. There's another call down. Can the Dire get away? Centaur's taunting as Ben finds the kill onto the Earth Spirit.
Yeah, that was nice. Afu comes in with a stolen Vendetta. Helps secure the escape of his Tinker there. But worthy grab for Lone Druid.
That was
not in the
brave
end.
by Afu. I don't know if you caught that. He put his arcane boots on the ground to use his magic stick while the Golem was like touching him.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Gotta get those efficiency plays going.
Yeah,
I guess could
backpack
probably
is for squares.
Yeah, that's the spirit. I mean, don't want to get slowed down, get punched by that thing. All right, then he just walks home anyway. So, you know what? Whatever, man.
Dude, that's efficiency.
Ice is Ice on the struggle bus this game.
Yeah.
Not having the easiest time. Not into his Blink Dagger quite yet. Hasn't really found those Vendetta openings that you hope for. Just a couple onto like random supports, but then every time they get punished. He's under a sentry now, but there's no vision. Now they see him for a split moment. They did catch him.
I know he's around. Rubik
They
has
have
the
dust.
dust, but it's all about that gut feeling.
He wants him to pop first so he can use the Vendetta damage on the Nyx to help secure the kill.
Look at them. They're just vendettaing past each other. Meanwhile, under the tower, we could have something going down. Roll deep there in, but the blink away from the Tinker means XY is just chilling there in the trees. Gonna get burned down by an Icarus dive. He's tossing stones left and right, but it's not gonna save your life. So the rest of Faceless, they gotta back off as Bazaar. They're looking really solid right now, holding on to a kill lead, and like you mentioned, with a free farming Alchemist, this net worth lead is not that significant.
Yeah, there is definitely some aspect of space creation happening here from Faceless, though. In terms of just like, they can always hold this tower for so long because of their gyrocopter. And there could just be that one big fight where they just dump all this damage on top of you with the chains. Even without the golems not necessarily being required here.
Radiant really trying to defend this, but they don't have Chaotic Offering up for another 20 seconds, and slow but steady chip damage coming out from these heroes. May just be enough to whittle down the tower.
Actually gonna be a little bit careful though.
Yeah.
Caught out here. He's got a sentry to back him up. And Ice will be aware of it now. Hanks away for a moment.
Got it.
But even Jabs can't get that much done here too, which is, I'm sure, a little bit frustrating. He doesn't have a haste rune.
There we go. Boulder Kick connects. They got the Impale. Is this enough to actually secure the kill on the lone druid? The Centaur comes in. He's got the Stampede rolling. Gets to the shrine. This is going to be enough to save Ajit's life. Now he's turning this around. They want to punish the Radiant for this aggressive play. They get the Nyx Assassin. They'll lift up the Earth Spirit soon to fall as well. Can they go for any more here? The Radiant's still trying to go in. They've got the Chaotic Offering now, but Warlock loses his life. Nana is going to take a stun, but outside the call down, so there's no more damage coming in from the Radiant. Faceless, they wanted to go in for a quick pick on the LD, but it ended up costing them 3 of their heroes.
That was the big fight they wanted to win too. Like, Alchemist found a haste rune bottom, goes up here, grabs the bounty, and then immediately TP's up. He finds the Phoenix and gets the kill on her, but then he was coming right in with that Gyro and that Warlock, and if it wasn't for Nana picking off that Golem, that could have been like 3 heroes caught inside. And then, you know, Gyro's throwing out his skills, and it suddenly like turns into a massacre with all this burn damage coming through with the Radiance, so...
Oh, they got a dust. Looks like Vendetta gonna be revealed, but Nyx still playing this one very safe. Tower goes in, they manage to blink forward, get the stun.
Again.
That's just thinking about it. He's got a Chaotic Offering. Those 3 were very clumpy, but they're lacking a little bit of damage now. And speaking of damage, we got our Alk, who's just been doing Alk things the entire game. Jabs, we have not seen him have a whole lot of participation. He got a kill for himself, and since then he's just been grinding out the jungle, going in, almost has that full Manta style. Just waiting for about 1,000 more golds for that ultimate orb, and well, Radiance Boots of Travel's Armlet, he is no slacker. The problem is, can he actually stand up to all 5 heroes on Bazaar?
Yeah, he's in a good spot for sure. I think once the Manta's out here, we'll see him again come into the next fight. And that's going to really ruin X-Nova's life. Makes it very difficult for him. It makes it hard for Ajit to guarantee he's going to be getting his damage off here. And it's going to be that way for quite a while, too. Very frustrating hero to have Radiance against you when you're playing Lone Druid. Grind up here, send the bear home. But maybe a smoke gank perhaps from the Dire relatively soon. They haven't actually forced into the bottom or mid tower yet, though. So I guess not really too much of a need for smokes yet. It'll be a little bit too obvious, so you can just group up and go with the bear push.
Yeah, I mean, right now there's no reason for Bazaar to split up. Their only real vulnerability is taking a 5-man Chaotic Offering, but for right
Good
now,
invis mid, but Nana knows. Oh, he cancels.
About going in. There's going to be a TP rotation coming in from the Centaur. There's a silence. There's a stun. This Tinker's in a lot of trouble. He's worth so much money, but he just can't get out. The call down going to polish him off, and Jabs gets credit for the kill, so Alchemist raking in so much gold. The egg, a nice zoning tool, but it's not going to be enough to save the heroes. X-Nova has to just book it out of here using that Icarus
I do not
dive.
like this buyback.
Meanwhile, there is going to be a little bit of a fight in the trees. Nana goes down. What? No. That was a dieback from Nana, the Tinker, feeding 2 deaths within 15 seconds. Now Phoenix could be in some trouble as well. The Impale's not going to be there, but Jabs with a deep stun has no problem diving tier 3s. Faceless suddenly fighting with their Alchemist, able to take a very convincing team fight.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
That was a little wild.
What did the Tinker
I
think
don't
was
know.
going to happen? Oh no, oh, they're going to get the Centaur as well. He's got the stun channeled up. Alc gonna manta off the, well, attempt to manta off the stun. A little bit late there, but at least get some illusions, whacking away at the tower, making some progress while he's sitting there.
When you pause and say lag, that was the play right there.
Oh yeah, no, that's clearly lag.
Didn't quite have the 9K execution there for the jabs.
Yeah, we saw a nice manta dodge from was it Arteezy yesterday? My goodness. All right, Rubik with the stolen stun. Does he get it off though? Oh no! He's just helping out Faceless. Oh my! Alk is having some fun with his unstable concoctions. I don't think I've seen that many stuns used in like a 30-second window.
That's pretty funny. But the real dream though would have been if he got off the camera at the same time from Ice Ice Ice
Oh.
and did like the reflected self-stun damage.
Just
that would have been
would have fully killed
immediately
Rubik.
nuked. Wow. All right, so this game just got cracked wide open.
Yeah, look at that uptick there on the net worth. It was like, all right, you know, Alk is farming, Alk's holding on, but it's relatively even, and then all of a sudden, like, whoops, racks.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That's crazy. Like he was so close to the tanker for so long, and then that's it. Just boom.
I mean, it looked so good for Bazaar because we saw them walking around winning fights, but you just can't let an Alchemist do Alchemist things for that long. He wasn't punished. There was no smoke ganks to try to find specifically the Alchemist. Bazaar got really comfortable going, and yeah, they could land a bunch of kills onto the Warlock and the Gyrocopter and the Earth Spirit, but that's not what the big problem is here. This is a 4-slotted Alk now at 23 minutes.
Yeah, I think, I mean, that's what I was saying top, like, where they held that tower for so long, and just, like, there is some aspect of space creation happening, because there was. I mean, they were putting all these heroes top, and Tinker's free farming and Alk's free farming, but the problem is that the whole game now boils down to essentially it was Jabs versus Nana, and how these two heroes were going to perform, and how these two players were going to do, and, like, what fights they joined and whatnot. And Bazaar had won, like, every single one so far. And then that just happens. Like, yes, he got picked off once under the tower, and it was an Invis rune. That's really unlucky, but you can't buy back in that situation when the whole game just relies on you so heavily.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless there's like a crazy good chance you're going to turn it around.
Yeah, I think Bazaar were still really trying to ride the momentum they had and maybe turn that around because, of course, we've seen the Tinker can go back into these fights at extremely low health and still be impactful. This time he just got separated from the herd. I mean, we saw like 4 or 5 heroes just sandwiching him in this little crevasse. He wasn't able to do anything.
Oh, now they just start doing the flowchart stuff, right? Get Roche, secure towers, kill shrines. Already blew up your mid-racks, so not exactly an issue here.
Right, Alk now with a full Octarine core because he got a chance to do Alk things and picked up some really nice juicy bounties in the last fight he took. So yeah, net worth now a little bit out of control, almost double the Tinker where they were nearly even a moment ago. Now dust sprayed out. They've got vision on what's going in, so no one's going to be too sneaky. Alk stuns himself. They still can't find the initiation. Afu just burning from the magnetized Nana, this time staying very far in the back lines. BKB popped by Black. Really want to make sure he lives through this. The Radiance Illusions, are they going to get Afu the stun to come in? And Phoenix is able to keep the Rubik alive, but that was, I mean, that took a lot of resources just to make sure the little guy can waddle out.
Hey, they'll take it though. Another 300 gold, trying to build something back up on the Nana here. 1200 gold swing, or rather experience swing overall. A little bit of gold heading their way too, so. And Nana's on the road to recovery. Of course, he'll never really catch up to the Alchemist, but that's not really something that can be in his sights at this point in the game. We're just trying to look for Ajit to get fat. He becomes this big damage dealer as well, and Ben just going to try and create as much space as he can in these fights. He'll be struggling towards the Aghanims for quite a while, I am sure.
Yeah, both supports on the side of Bazaar really having a tough time getting their farm up. We see Phoenix got shoes and an empty wand. Rubik, I mean, he's got a little bit more to his name, lots of detection for him, but certainly not going to see Blink Dagger coming out in the next couple of moments unless he gets a high bounty kill. That bear is, why is it jumping?
It's a happy bear. That's what I'm going with.
It's leaping. All right. Smoke up from Bazaar. They're looking to get aggressive here, realizing they can't let Alchemist just keep doing
This is
Alchemist
a tough
things.
5v5.
I mean, if they could pick off Alchemist at the start of the fight, Bazaar have a really good shot at the rest of this game. It looks like they're
Oh,
going to
there he
isolate him
is.
from the rest of his herd.
He
Misclick
ulted,
with the
though. Just
stomp,
run.
though. Centaur, oh, unfortunate here. Now he's the one stuck. He does have his ulti. Will he be able to pop it off here? He gets it for his team, but he's going to hit the deck. The Phoenix Egg will be able to hatch, but just barely. Jabs almost gets that thing down. Now there is going to be a long-range stun onto Afu. Manta popped as well. That's Rubik. They get out alive, but unfortunately, Bazaar don't find the kill they're looking for.
I mean, it's gonna be very difficult to find him without ulti, with an Octarine core for sure. That they were close, like he was out of his form there, but they weren't able to get the stun lock off in time. And even then, I mean, this is still Alchemist with an Aegis, right? Like you're probably hoping to pick off someone other than him. Sadly, about 2 minutes to go, and they might get another high ground push with this Aegis.
When are we going to start to see Lone Druid be like a real big boy? Because right now he's got himself a Hyperstone. He's got that Maelstrom, so he can push very quickly. But you look at his net worth, and he's not even keeping pace with the Gyro.
Yeah, he can't be out on the map right now because of the Nyx Assassin. You can't be like totally out alone. Even if he has backup supports, that just means like what's happening in the other lanes. They might as well just be dodging you and pushing him with this Alchemist. So he's basically in fight mode. He knows that Faces are bringing it to them. He needs to be ready for that kind of stuff. I can't rap too much because of Nyx once again. So he just needs Ben to do stuff. Ben needs to be this frontliner who's just stunning people and allowing you to get your hits off as much as possible. It's not an easy game for a lone druid. Like, he has all this damage. It's just someone to be actually controlling Faceless heroes.
No, just trying to keep this wave pushed back. It's hard with already half a lane of super creeps coming at you. There's a lot of pressure on this Tinker right now. He's got to be the one to split up even when it's dangerous, because if Bazaar just kind of roll over and let their lanes get pushed in, it's going to be very tricky for them to recover.
Yes, Jab's walking around. He's not even like popping his Manta. He's not even like farming around with it on the map right now.
Oh, look at that TP. Gonna be
Come on with
canceled.
the stun. Oh. Hey, attaboy. Jab's got it this time.
Radiant's
Nice.
middle tower is under attack.
Tier 2 tower taken out. That is the last Tier 2 tower on the Dire side, so
Is under attack.
Radiant, they've got to set their sights to high ground. Clearly they had no trouble cracking mid, but could be a little bit more difficult. The level's starting to roll in for both teams. Let's look at level breakdown. Alk, no surprise, going to be the top of the charts, level 21. And he's going to pick himself up the 300 health instead of the attack speed. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I mean, that's fine. And this early in the game, that much health, that's so insurmountable. Like,
Just the capital K.
compare how much more benefit you're going to get out of that versus this lineup, like just sieging high ground, a lot of this magic damage being pumped out from the rockets or even just the pure damage from the lasers. It's totally fine.
Radiant's middle
I think that
tower
is
under
certainly the right
attack.
call. Plus, whenever you have a higher HP pool, it just benefits your regen so much more. It's like so much more time for that to come into play as you're being gone on during a fight.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Got a couple level 19s on the board. Gyrocopter, as well as our lone druid looking to pick up their next level of the talent tree. Gyrocopters isn't going to be super game changing, but Spirit Bear armor could be pretty neat, and also the respawn time. It's never an option you want to go with. That's always plan B. Do you think it's worthwhile here, as Bazaar just really need to get everybody back in the fight as soon as possible?
Sorry, which one specifically are you looking at for the...
Lone druid level 20.
Oh, God, always. Yes, always respawn time.
Really?
Yes, no, 100%,
Oh,
always.
okay. All right. Phoenix is going to be bullied here. Look at Ben just watching it. Now, do they have vision here? That's the problem. They do. Centaur Warner's got the dust. There's a TP out. They got the stomp. Double edge to apply the damage. And there we go. Ben finally able to keep himself rolling. Putting himself back up there.
Good, it's a grab for them. Any way to get Ben more farmed is just going to help Lone Druid out by proxy. Just getting him into the Agnum Scepter, allowing him to survive longer these engagements. He finds a... oh, jeez. Discord.
That Discord's really letting us down.
It's got some issues, it seems, today.
Well, hopefully everything gets sorted out quickly. Let's take a look at the net worth chart. Of course, a lot of this being amplified by the Alchemist being so far ahead. He's holding on to most of the net worth for his team, but it is still becoming an issue for Bazaar to actually go in. They have to kill the Alchemist like 2 or 3 times now to get a foothold back in this game. I feel like Alchemist has just completely run away. And we did see Team Bazaar look really strong in the earlier levels as they were rotating and as they were finding picks, but it's not the picks you need. And now, unfortunately, Lone Druid, not so great there. XY is going to pick up the kill for that just because the magnetized damage. So
I guess
Alchemist,
it was so much damage they didn't even go for the Stampede for the magnetized.
I think that was one of those like, yep, you were a little bit out of position. You didn't really have a ward there, and you're dead.
Radiant's top tower.
One of those like pause ones too.
Or he had time to think about it, and it was just like, yeah, you gotta let this
Well, you
happen.
lose track as to like how long you've been in this area and like where people were moving. Like he had this ward here. Like, did he know Earth Spirit had gone up there before? And like he's like, oh, well, he could be coming back here by now. I don't know. You lose that kind of stuff during a pause, but
I like this Alk Blade Mail. Not a super typical choice, but it's definitely gonna pay off, especially with the damage that Phoenix is gonna be putting out in an AOE. Tinker.
yeah, especially the Tinker, right? And again, it plays off that big HP pool thing too, right? It's just a nice little synergy with his talents.
Alchemist starting to work on his first Aghanim Scepter. He'll have it in just a couple hundred more golds. Who gets the first one?
I don't know if he... It's hard to tell. I would say XY. It depends, because I feel like you're going to be sieging as the Alk, right? So I like the Earth Spirit one, because he has the Blink Dagger too, so he can blink on you, but I'm sure there's an argument for Nuts. Just not Black, I don't think. I don't think the side gunner is going to do enough here. When you're this far ahead, it's not really much point. If they're having trouble sieging, though, I guess there's also Ice Ice Ice, possibly. I think because... Alright, we're going in, guys. Because the cooldown on the Warlock ulti, I'm gonna go for XY. That's my choice.
XY? Alright,
Yep.
we'll see. Alchemist, he's got enough for it now. Probably
I
wanted to
changed
save...
my mind. It's actually Ice Ice Ice. I
Okay.
think that's actually way better.
Alk here, going for a run-in. Gonna stun himself in the trees. Nana just gonna take the opportunity to hop out of there. Or not. Just gonna try to go clean up a little bit more creepage before he takes out. So right now, this is very much Bazaar playing reactionary. They don't want to get too far from their base, don't want to get too far from their tier 3s. Letting Faceless, shape up and make the next move, and it's really dangerous. It's kind of one of those you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't kind of scenarios where you want to get in there, you want to contest a Roche, you want to take fights, but if you lose those fights, it's just detrimental. There's no coming back from that.
They played very well over the past like 5-10 minutes or so. Honestly, they got a couple picks. They've lost like their Lone Druid set, which is unfortunate, but this is one of those times where the game could have just been over by now. Faces at the same time playing a little bit patient. Like Black has been doing a ton of neutral farming all over the jungle, hence why he's now surpassed the Tinker, despite him being relatively free across the map so far. Jabs goes for a little bit of a defensive stun there.
Yes, Centaur again.
You see Black.
Yeah.
What a goon. That's great.
Oh, and Jabs could be in a tricky situation there. Rubik going to be going in.
Oh, no, this
Doesn't
is
have
what
an
we're talking
Aegis.
about.
This is the time to fight. They're bringing in the neutral Centaur. Can he land this top of his life? And we'll see there as the real Centaur is going to be ulting, trying to book everyone out of there. The double edge finishes off the Alchemist. That's huge. Now the egg going to get focused down here. Will it get a chance to hatch? Doesn't look like it. Black getting some money from that, and everyone else should be able to TP out safely. Alfu.
Well, I mean, Alk died, but I won because Ice got the Aghanim, so it's alright, guys. We saved it. I feel like you're sieging high ground. That's actually so sick. So and also defending Roche, but yeah, they did it. They killed the Alk. We got there. Bazaar Gaming.
That's huge. How much was he worth there? That was almost 800 gold going to the Centaur. Maybe not the hero you need to have all that gold, but now he's got a blink, he's got an axe, so a little bit more sustainable, a little bit more able to initiate.
He's like, man, I could have used this like 10 minutes ago when I've been trying to build these damn Aghanim's this whole time. Finally had it, but helps them win the fight. Definitely humongous against all this AoE damage. Like, Face is kind of, funnily enough, didn't even get the best chance to use all these crazy wombo combos. So like with this whole gyrocopter and everything like that, it was more of just like a Alk gaming that one Invis rune. You won that fight and you marched down mid, but now that we've reached that later stage in the game, when all the like it's easier now for Warlock to get things off because everyone's so tanky and beefy, and he's got his little mechanism so he can generally get into the fight and get his fatal bonds there, with the help of his allies being more maneuverable and whatnot. But now they have the Stampede, so trying to negate the Wombo combo by 60%. And the real
Like
question is, can they
ice.
actually get this Roche?
Yeah, he's just huddling, making sure that no one from Bazaar is going to poke their head in. I mean, while this is going down, it seems like a pretty safe Roche. Can we talk about this Tinker's item build? He went for the full Dagon and then picks up a Glimmer Cape.
Yeah, I think it's because of the Nyx just like catching him out and stuff. So like this means that if Ice doesn't have detection, he can't get on top of him during all these like side ganks that plays when he's doing this stuff. It's a weird choice for sure, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, why Glimmer? Is it just because it's less expensive than something like a Shadow Blade? I feel like, you know, if Tinker's got the money, maybe like a Silver Edge. If you're going to go big, yeah, let's just do it. Just go for it. Silver Edge Tinker, new meta.
More like you'll get more value out of a Glimmer than you would a Silver Edge or something anyway, right?
Yeah.
Resistance, but it is still like super unique. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a Tinker Glimmer before. It's not like this is standard stuff against Nyx or something. But he just does this every single time.
Tinker likes to right click. All right.
It's kind of cool because it protects you against Tinker wards in a sense, I guess, but only if they're like not looking. So not really. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think about this one. Because like it's still a Nyx stun, right? So like even if you try and do this like blink into the trees and go invis, like it's still a ground targeted stun, so it doesn't matter if you're invis.
Yeah, we'll see if it's gonna pay off. I mean, it has been useful so far. I just would have been more useful to just start building up something bigger. Looks like he's trying to go in for that Bloodstone. Maybe eventually finding a sheep stick for himself as well. And he's got the big boy Dagon. He can do a fair amount of damage. He can pretty much pop the Earth Spirit. Nyx Assassin's going to take a beating from it as well.
It looks like one of those Tinkers in Overthrow. It like just gets to the chest and suddenly you have a Glimmer Cape, that kind of thing. That's
yeah,
that's
pretty
like,
much. He just ended up with this Glimmer Cape.
Like found it on the ground somewhere or something. I don't know. The Bloodstone's an interesting choice. Looks like he just wants to lay down like a billion things of marches in the base when they come to push, as well as having the faster respawn. But it means he won't have Aghanims, which is very good against Alk and all his illusions.
Here we go. High ground coming in. Looks like Jabs really wants to make quick work of his tower. Dire going to be able to defend this. Nana, he's just going to be sitting back. He's got machines he can spray out to try to zone everyone back, but Nyx. Oh god, the Centaur. Poor buddy.
I think we'll probably see Jabs go for a Manta this time and then put back in his Blade Mail. I think it's so good against the Tinker that once you have the illusions out, it might make more sense for him, but we'll see what the next wave he decides to do. I guess if you don't have your Manta, though, he has to wait for the laser, which is really irritating.
He's going to be going in. That's the Manta we're talking about, but nice little hoof stomp. He's healing up a fair amount from his Octarine, but he's still getting low. The Age is going to be popped. There's Golems coming out on top of the call down. It's real messy for the Dire right now. They cannot be near their tier 3s. Everyone huddling back so far. All of Bazaar still alive. Alk going to stun himself in the trees. The bear going to be scouting that out. Hoof stomp comes in from Ben. There's going to be everyone sitting stunned up, taking a pause in the middle of the fight. As now Jabs moves back forward with that Shiva's Guard lifted up again from the Rubik. They're going to be able to steal some spells. This is going to be enough. Phoenix Egg setting the pace. It's going to be a nice stun if they can find it, and they are able to do so. Yules from the Nyx. Going to be dodging out what they can. The Earth Spirit does fall. Jabs, though, is still whittling away these racks. He's going in for the full set. Right now, Bazaar just don't have the resources to stop him.
I was just chilling here the entire time. Throwing out stuns, throwing out mana burns.
Centaur,
what a hero.
He tried. He tried so hard, but unfortunately this is going to be 2 full sets of racks now, able to finish what they started a couple minutes ago. 2 lanes of super creeps. Only 1 lane of racks keeping them from megas now. That was a Dagon level 5 onto Jabs, and he's barely feeling it. What do you do against this Alk right now?
I mean, Alk, right? He's a hero. It's not really much you can do, honestly. You just hope that you don't lose that second set of racks. And Aghanim's delivered to Jabs, and oh, Warlock leaves. It's like, bruh, did you not want this?
I mean,
that was the,
Warlock's
that was
got places to be, dude. He's a busy boy.
Just follow him everywhere. Just be like, no, come on, dude, pick me. I'm your man. Look at.
What?
You see Jabs' quick five?
Yeah, getting them ags. I told you, everyone benefits from it. We talked about that in draft.
I know, it's
Faceless.
just great that he has 2 setup in a row. That's pretty good.
Dude, why buy 1 ags when you could have 3 in your backpack? That's what those 3 slots are for.
Needs one for himself, too. Oh. Dota 2. They certainly had the potential to take that fight, I think, from Bazaar. Just the timing has to be so perfect. Like, you need that Centaur Stampede at the perfect time. Try and counter-initiate the Wombo combo. And Ice makes these engagements so difficult. The non-stop carapaces, and then, of course, the fact that he's in burrow form, so he's invisible. You need, like, those ground turrets, or you need detection, and he's just throwing out impales. Finds his spot and camps in it. XY had a nice save too on the Alpha where they had that one chance to maybe target him in the trees early on, and he blinked and kicked him out of the base. It was pretty good. Did we hand this thing off yet? Oh, yeah, I gave it to XY. Okay. Glorious Earth Spirit, ready for the blink stone saves or possibly ganks. If they get Ajit, or even Ben would be a sick one to snag with the stone form, but they have a sentry in the base, trying to make sure there won't be vision inside, so XY can't make that snipe. But now he's got the extra mobility of the Force Staff. Gotta watch out. Suddenly you're just stone formed.
Still no side gunner for Black right now. Feeling a little bit of sadness. Not able to just randomly drop more damage into the fight, but we'll see. Alchemist again. He's got him queued up. He's working on it.
Yeah, Black is definitely the bottom of the list. I'd rather have the HP on Jabs than the side gunner on Black.
I think you're wrong.
Maybe I'm being a little bit facetious, but I actually do think it probably is better, honestly. Like, let's be frank. Like, the HP on this guy, come on.
It's completely
Side gunner?
fine.
No. Side
It's
gunner's
fine.
okay.
The right choices have been made. The Warlock without an Ag Synth, though, is a little bit curious.
I mean, I think Earth Spirit's better anyway. One spell every 165 seconds versus Earth Spirit God.
It's like, but it's 2 spells. You get double the golems, double the fun.
When we look at it, I suppose. Double the golems. Double the fun. Makes sense. Math adds up.
Thank you. I went to public school in NA, so I'm really glad I was able to pass that math course.
Don't just lump it as NA. Please say US.
Sorry.
Not NA.
Canadian
Thank
public
you.
schools are highly advanced. Now here we
Thank
go.
you.
There's going to be an initiation here. The Alchemist dropping low, but the call down on top of the Warlock Golems. Oh my. Bazaar are just melting down. We're dropping frames because there's just too much blood. Magnetize doing some work, but under the shrine it seems like a couple heroes on Bazaar are able to make it out just fine. There's going to be buybacks coming forward. And Bazaar, they are able to hold this back. Golems expended, call down expended. Can they hold this?
XY, not finding his angle. Didn't throw the stone down. Didn't like
He's
it.
just tumbling around. Now the tower will be chipped down. You got X-Nova thinking about going in for an egg, but you got to keep everyone distracted. If you just egg, they're just going to focus you down, and we'll see that happening right there as Centaur gets stunned as he's looking for a stomp of his own. The Nick's going to Yules himself off to dodge any stuns, and the GG comes out. Faceless taking 2 games in a row, making it look easy. The Alchemist just got way too much space to himself and started rolling all over this game, so Bazaar, they got another chance to redeem this, but it's getting tougher and tougher.
Yeah, it really did just feel like a 1v1.